Thanks, guys. Stephanie Deletto joined by Sean Millett. Sean, the Metropolitan Division was a powerhouse this season, pumping out 5 playoff teams, 4 with 100 points. And it's most fitting that the league's best division housed the best team in the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, let's start with the Capitals. They were the first team to clinch a playoff spot, and they've been playing some stress-free hockey these last few weeks. They started to let that show, but I think all of that was squashed. Second last game of the season against the Blues. They won 5-1, and Obi got the hat trick, getting him to 50 goals in the season. Braden Holtby clinching the NHL record, 48 wins. And, you know, it's scary good how good these guys are when they're really clicking.
And the Flyers' end of the season was quite the ride, rising from the basement of the East and just sliding into a playoff spot, and most recently dealing with the loss of their beloved owner, Ed Snyder. So there's a lot of motivation in that locker room, dedicating each playoff game to Snyder.
Yeah, the Flyers are quickly becoming one of the best stories going into the postseason. And as you mentioned, one of the hottest teams in the NHL. Unfortunately, though, with this matchup against the Caps, they're going to need Steve Mason to absolutely stand on his head and steal the series with the offense the Caps have. I mean, the Caps haven't lost 2 games in a row in regulation all season.
And, I mean, if they do go into overtime, they have the guy. The Flyers have Shane Gottspear, who led the league in overtime winners this season. So, I mean, if it came down to crunch time, he's a guy that I'd want on my side. But
yeah, me too.
Looking at another matchup, something that we've seen the last 2 years, the Pittsburgh Penguins are up against the New York Rangers. Since the Penguins changed coaches, they've been the team to beat in the NHL, going on a 14-16 run. Now they have a lot of injuries going into this series. How are they going to get it done?
Well, first off, I'd like to know what the water's like in Pennsylvania with the Flyers and the Penguins playing as well as they have. But you're right. With the injuries to Malkin, Matt Murray, and Marc-Andre Fleury, there's a lot of questions. But, you know, this team, the way that they possess the puck, they may not even need a goalie going into this last stretch. And combine that with the speed of Kessel, Hagelin, and Crosby, the Rangers are going to have a handful like they have the last 2 seasons.
Especially since the Rangers are without their top defenseman and captain and Ryan McDonough. But they aren't too worried because they have the best goalie going into the playoffs in Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, Hank is going to be ready. He had a little bit of an illness, but he's absolutely owned the Penguins. In the last 2 playoff series, he's gone 7-1 against them. And some other good news for the Rangers is that Alain Vigneault said that Ryan McDonough has been practicing, working on his hand, and he might be back later in the series.
And the Penguins are out for revenge in this series, and I think they're well-rounded enough to get it done. That does it for us. For Stephanie Deletto and Sean Millett, we send it back to the desk.